All right, what's up, y'all? Okay, this is my second time going live. Okay, I'm gonna try to go live on this page more because I go live on TikTok. But I got some good information. I see people come on here, they just really shallow, and the audience makes up, it makes their live popping. So I'm just gonna talk like it's a whole lot of people on here to get this live in motion. So thank you guys for supporting my page. Thank you everybody for supporting me. Brandy J Unscripted, Coach Brandy J. Listen, I want to talk to those of you who have been hurt in your relationship and you want to get back. I want to talk to you guys who have experienced deep heartache, deep heartbreak, and you want flat out revenge. Let me stop you right there, okay? You don't want to get revenge so that the karma comes back on you. You don't want to get revenge so that the karma comes back on you. The easiest thing for a person to do is to say goodbye. But the hardest thing for somebody to do is to actually leave. Now, if you gonna show out and you gonna do all this extra stuff, just take the L, the lesson, forgive the situation, but you can't because you deep rooted, because this ain't his first time. This ain't her first time. You can't, but you connected because you've been with this person for so long. Y'all got a soul tie and you ready to fight. You ready to fight for what you say is yours, but he ain't really yours. She not really yours. Y'all sharing. And so now you get mad every time he lie. Let me just say this right here. The hardest thing is to be the hardest thing for a woman. I'm a woman. Speak from that point of view. The hardest thing for a woman to have to overcome is being in a relationship with a compulsive liar, being in a relationship with a man who cannot stand to be loved, a man that does not want to be loved. See, being loved and people giving a person attention is two different things. If I love you, I tell you what I think is right. If I love you, I tell you, baby, I don't think that's going to work. But if you just want attention, that means you gonna go out to everybody that will give you attention when you know you're wrong. So if you are in a relationship or going through and that person keeps continuously, habitually cheating on you, the best thing for you to do is to stop arguing, stop confronting him, and build yourself up. So when it's time to let go, you can go. Now, letting go doesn't mean that you don't get feelings. You don't get hurt. The feelings, like I'm getting stopped up in my chest just saying this, right? Letting go doesn't mean that you don't feel nothing. You are a human being having a human experience. What does that mean? That means that when somebody hurts you, you are supposed to feel it. But when you get yourself in a place where you have exhausted all that you know how to do. See, you're not going to leave the situation until you have exhausted all of the possibilities, disabilities, opportunities that there is left for you to salvage this relationship. Some men, not all men, but some men will never just have one woman. And it's unfortunate, but it has nothing to do with you. It has all to do with their self-concept and their identity. If a man does not have, or a woman does not have their self-concept in check, they don't have identity, you will always be second best to what gives them the most attention. Every day you're not going to be able to give him or her the attention. But because the self-concept and the identity is not right, what you're going to do is then wonder what you're doing wrong. It's nothing that you're doing wrong. It's that you have a fragmented person who's searching for this certain type of attention because they're really broken on the inside. These are the most dangerous people to date because they'll hurt you while you try to love them. These are the most dangerous people because their definition of love is love me as I cheat. Love me as I flirt. Love me as I curse you out. Love me as I put you out. Love me as I pop you in your face. Love me. That's not real. That's coming from a person who's broken. That's coming from a person who doesn't have real identity. And these type of people will discard you when you have nothing else to give. Because giving to them hurts you. And let me tell you what they're doing while you're not getting prepared. They're prepping the new supply. When I say prepping the new supply, they're already replacing you. If you used to do this for them, let's say you used to help them with ideas, concept, pay bills, go pick up mail, anything, they already grooming you for the next. They are grooming the new supply for what you was doing for them. It's a gradual disconnection because you no longer feed the ego. And those of you who stop feeding the ego of the person who can't be loved properly, they're going to discard you. They're going to love you, but they're going to discard you. Let me say it again. If you are in a relationship, please listen to me, and you are being hurt, you are being discarded, you are being ignored because you love the wrong person too long, go ahead and start preparing yourself. Because what's getting ready to happen is that person is already grooming the next person to replace you. Number one thing that they do, they start hanging out with their friends. Okay? They start hanging out with their friends and they start dividing the attention. Now, I don't know if they know they're doing this, but they start hanging out with their friends to divide the attention from you. Number two, they start disconnecting by trying lesser and lesser to be around you. Things that you do not like, they do it intentionally. Things that they know that you're going to spaz out on, they do it and don't care. Because they are prepping themselves for the day they leave you. Or the day they keep you just because they don't want you, but they don't want nobody else to have you. You understand? So you have to also prepare yourself because that day is coming where your feelings are going to get real hurt because you depended on a broken person to love you healed. You depended on a broken person you counted on a broken person to fulfill a need in you that they don't have the capabilities to do because guess what? They never been fulfilled themselves. But because you stopped your life, you stopped your life, you stopped your hobbies, you stopped your dreams, you stopped everything because you thought giving full attention to them, even when you had nothing left, was going to make them stay. But let me tell you this, there's nothing you could have done. They was already prepping the new girl to do everything that you used to do. And the new supply or the new man, they're lower than you. Let me get this straight. They're going to always be notches lower than you because they cannot attract where they cannot compete. They cannot attract where they're fake. See, you wore them out. And so now they have to go to something lower to feel comfortable because who they are it's not that you get what you see with them because it's a character. It's an ego. And as soon as you broke the code, you got discarded. People who do not properly know how to love because they was never loved properly will always hurt you because you expose the part of them that the world will see that's broken. You better get out now. You better start preparing yourself now. It'll be like tremors when you leave. You'll be in the grocery store. You'll be watching TV. You'll be working and you'll start feeling them on you. But it gets better. Let me say this. It gets better. It gets better, not with time, but with therapy and awareness. Yeah, they moved on. They found a new person to replace you. They found the friends and the fake wins, and they never let go of their life. You did. That's on you. And so now you hurt because you gave everything up to be fully invested in a man or a woman that didn't give up for you. Now you want revenge. You want them to get locked up. You want them to die. You want him to get robbed. You want him to get sick. You want him to have a heart attack. You want everything in the world to happen to him. But you still love him. So let me check you. If you love him that much, why would you want something bad to happen to him? Just because you didn't work out, you was never designed to work out. Because you ain't his type. You wasn't his type. And what we got to do is accept the fact that people move on. I'm not discounting feelings right now. Let me tell you what was done to me. I went through a very, very, very tumultuous breakup at one point in my life. And during the holiday season, so from September, October, November, December, those are the hardest seasons where this is the seasons where people want to commit suicide, right? And so I went through the hardest seasons of my life because I thought that because I couldn't get this particular person to love me like I loved them through everything, I thought that I needed closure. Let me say this right here. You know, when you're dating somebody and they just walk away or they just stop calling, they stop communicating, and you want to know why. It's the whys. If you just could have told me, I just need closure. If you just told me the truth. But let me say this. This is what I learned. I had no one to tell me this. All people told me was to move on with your life. Y'all are unequal. Move on with your life. God is saving you. You know the script. But all I needed was someone to tell me these few things. Awareness heals. Therapy reveals. Awareness of what was actually going on. It will heal because you got a falsified picture that you wasn't enough. Reveals. Therapy heals. That's how I say it. Awareness will reveal the truth. Therapy will heal to the new you. You all say time heals wounds. Time hides wounds. Time bandages wounds. That's why your person can't love you properly. This has nothing to do with their mama and daddy. For the most part. They loved them the best that they could love them. This has all to do with the person that you're dating having no self-concept that's positive. This has all to do with the person that you're dealing with that operates in ego, operates in being the clown of the show, being the big man who got all the women, or the woman who got the BBL and she got all the fan, or the woman who got the fine body, or you ain't even got to have a fine body. You just got body count. You know how to get the niggas in. You know how to finesse yourself so it's easy to move on to the next best thing while you hurting the person who just wanted to love you. When women cheat, it's an emotional connection. When men cheat, it's a release. Let me say it again. When women cheat, there is emotion. When men cheat, that's a release. But that does not mean that it's right. When I became aware of the situation I was actually in, because in my mind, I had made that thing a fairy tale. I had made the relationship, the person, it was all a lie. I had put this person in a box of what I wanted them to be and not the reality. I was ruminating on what could be and not what was. And that, my friend, was the awakening for me. When I saw the things that hurt me, when I saw the things that ticked me, when I saw the things, and when we broke up, he went right back to it. It broke me. There's somebody that's listening to me right now that wants your ex to go down for everything they did to you. But can I tell you something? What's going to be your breakthrough? Awareness reveals, therapy heals. You were never meant to be with them for eternity, for a lifetime, happily ever after. You took potential and married it, and you negated the reality of what it was. And so now you feel sick. You feel sick. And you too scared to go get therapy because Black people think therapy is taboo. Black people think that therapy, think you go to therapy, you crazy. No, you go to therapy to get healing and new perception. A new perception of what's going on, because the identity that you're working in, it's not even real. Why do you think celebrities keep having the same issues but with a different man? They have problems too. Money is not the solver of the problem. Every man okay, let's give an example. I like Cardi B. I like her because I like how she stand up for women. She's not African American, but I like how she stand up for women. But until she heals that self-concept, until she heals the wounds on the inside of her that was hurt from when she was in the streets, when she was a child, when she was poor, until she heals that side of her, she will attract men that want to break her. You want your ex to suffer, but it's you that needs to heal. I love Meg Thee Stallion. But there is some brokenness in her that people like that think a man was sent to heal them. A man is sent for you to partner with, not to heal you. Money has no thing to do with this. You still a woman and you still a man. I can name celebrity after celebrity females that constantly go through and why they ain't got no man. Halle Berry, beautiful. Beautiful. Why? Kim Kardashian, why? What is it about them that attracts the craziness? They got everything that money can buy, even stuff that money can't. Ask yourself, other than the income, other than the finances, what makes us different from getting hurt? Nothing. There is something that's broken in us that attracts the broken person that we want to love. One of the regrets I have in a relationship that I was in, I remember the guy said, let's go to therapy together. And I told him, I said, you go first because you need this, because you're working on some things and I don't want to go. Therapy is something sacred. He said, go with me. I said, I'll ride with you, but you need to go into therapy by yourself. And because he didn't have more people rooting for him like me, therapy went out of the window. And now the situation is out of hand. He is now worse off than he ever was in his entire life because he's around women and men that use him based on the perception that he gives. Nobody knows the real him. He's not even operating in himself right now. He has no identity. He all over the place. But had I gone to therapy with him, would it have changed? I don't know. But that is the one regret that I have. But in each relationship that I've gone through, it's not been that many. Each person have told me they needed attention. So that's telling me that I attract something that was broken. Because people that are healed and whole, they don't stick to moods. They don't be led by emotion, but by purpose and plan. It was telling me that Brandy has something that's misconstrued or defected within her that will attract something that's fragmented. All right, that's enough. That's enough. Don't wish that person well. It's not you. They was broken when y'all got together. Coach Brandy J. Thank you guys.